It's a great vindication, and it feels good. And the report has been, wildly praised. I wish it could have come faster, but the detail that he went into, 308 pages, the detail is extraordinary. And all of these people, I guess you could call it treason. You could call it a lot of different things. But this should never be allowed to happen in our country again.
A great vindication. Former President Trump right there on Newsmax reacting to the Durham report. It was an exclusive interview with our Rob Schmidt last night. He also denounced the Russia collusion hoax created by the Clinton campaign and how the Obama administration and the mainstream media all went along with it for years. Trump says Durham's report revealed the crime of the century and treason by the most powerful government officials who colluded to prevent a political opponent, him, from winning the presidency. And folks, you can watch President Trump's exclusive interview with Rob Schmidt again today. We're airing it at 3 p.m. Eastern, so tune in to get his latest take on the Durham report, CNN, DeSantis, and even our ratings surge here at Newsmax. John?
All right, let's check in now with former policy advisor for President Trump, George Papadopoulos. He was a main target of the Mueller investigation, and you really should read his book if you've read the Mueller report, Deep State Target, How I Got Caught in the Crosshairs of the Plot to Bring Down President Trump. George, great to see you.
Thanks a lot for having me, John.
And I think about that lunch we had in Los Angeles a couple years ago. I read the book. You told me the account firsthand. Reading the Durham report, I think about you all the time and how you and your now beautiful wife got wrapped up into this whole entire situation. What has it been like for you, George, not only to read the Mueller report, to live the to read the Durham report, live through the Crossfire Hurricane investigation, and now also to see the media's response to this and the way they tamp it down?
Yeah, it's been an incredible saga, and I mean, we've been going through this this issue for years. I mean, and I really call the Durham probe the final chapter of the trilogy, right? We started off, of course, with Mueller, then we had Horowitz, and then we had the best at last, which was Durham, which really put the icing on the cake and actually delivered facts to the American people about really what was going on during the 2016 campaign and the overt interference by the intelligence agencies during that campaign, and how, of course, that likely impacted the 2020 campaign. Of course, it was a tremendous challenge for my family and I to get through it, but we did. We had support by so many various patriotic Americans. Obviously, Newsmax has been incredible in terms of covering the intimate details of this story, which has been profoundly important for getting the truth out there. And I'm looking forward to this new chapter and this vindication, not only for myself, but of course for President Trump and over 75 million Americans who voted for him and believed in him. So it's a great day in America.
I remember one of the things you told me, George, that if the FBI ever showed up to your house again and they asked you what color the sky is, you would say, I need to talk to my lawyer first. I mean, that's basically where we are now with this, with the reputation, at least, of the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
You know, John, the self-inflicted wound that the FBI did to itself because of the various misconduct that was outlined in vivid detail in the Durham probe was probably even worse than what any foreign adversary could have potentially done to our intelligence community. And that is simply the truth. Yes, if the FBI ever did want to come to me or any other private citizen, I highly recommend one of two things. One, get a lawyer, and two, don't talk to them, because that's just simply one of the consequences that so many Americans saw based on various entrapment schemes, process crimes, trying to tie people into scandals that never existed, fabricating evidence, coming up with dodgy dossiers to find fraudulent warrants to spy on a presidential campaign. So this is the long-lasting consequence of this misconduct, and it's really going to probably be a generational problem for the FBI unless there is accountability, and that really starts with Congress doing its job moving forward.
Last question for you, George. Steve Bannon and some other folks have expressed, Sebastian Gorka, our good friend, they've expressed sort of outrage that John Durham didn't subpoena anyone. We never really got any of these people under oath to answer questions. Are you disappointed that Durham did not go to those lengths?
I'm not disappointed in the Durham probe at all. I think what the Durham probe really did was it laid out the roadmap for Congress to now take appropriate action. And that really includes codifying guardrails to ensure that this type of behavior never happens again. And if they can't codify those guardrails, really instill trust once again in the institution, then use the power of the purse at the appropriations level to really defund this organization until there are systematic changes. So that's what my opinion is, and I really don't think we've seen the end of the fallout from this probe.
Yeah, take a budget or take a chainsaw to the budget of the Justice Department. That might be the only way forward. George Papadopoulos, great to see you. Thanks, George.
Thanks a lot, John.